this fine evening on When Can We Play, where the answer is always tonight. Tonight you will be joining us as we play another fantastic session of Blades in the Dark, published by Evil Hat Productions and written by John Harper, with whom we have no association but are huge fans. Last we left off, our crew had gotten back and we spent a session coping with the fact that after some decisions made by one of our players, there are now doppelgangers, essentially, of our entire crew. I guess let me go ahead and introduce said crew in case you're new here. Starting, of course, with the lovely Paige McCay playing the deadly sociopathic acrobat from a burned to the ground circus that has since gotten some small semblance of revenge. Fanny Barnum Keel, our cutter. How are you doing, Paige / Barnum?
Great. If you're in Nashville, happy Pride this week. We're super excited. That's all. We're great.
Thank you. That's from both characters, by the way, both Paige and Barnum. And then, of course, the equally lovely and quite dashing Victor Rivera, esteemed actor who had an audition today that I hope went very well, by the way. He auditioned for my mixtape. He will be playing as Robert Thingama, the demented engineer, who once upon a time was an esteemed academic who lost his mind after a captain of the Leviathan Hunters injected him with a crazy substance that made him insane and drug-addled. Choked my spit, I got so excited. How are you doing, Victor / Thingama?
For those of you on Twitch, remember to clip. Cool things, clip. And it has a little knife on it.
We're getting to the bottom of the barrel, huh? Thank you so much, Victor. And finally, but not leastly, and once again, I gotta say, quite beautiful, we have Jacob Skinner, also an actor of both the improv and scripted variety, who will be portraying Everett Vega Valentine, the Lurk, an ex-noble who once again became a noble, who once again became an ex-noble, after his presumed dead father turned out to be very much alive and kind of a prick. How are you doing, Jacob / Vega? Good?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm stable.
That's good. Emotionally, mentally, physically? We will be joining these scoundrels today as we embark on a score in which they are going to pay back the Grinders, a crew of ruffians, dock workers, and ex-factory workers who, frankly, they owe a favor. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Without further ado, Victor, my darling love, would you like to introduce episode 15 for us?
Episode 15, Ship Happens.
Oh, that's so good. Isn't that great? Thank you so much for joining us. I did some Power Ranger poses to get myself hype and in the mood, even though that is thematically probably not the tone of this game. All right, so first things first, I know you guys want to do this. You probably want to take care of some downtime actions, as exciting as those are, because I believe most of you are pretty messed up right now. So Victor, would you like to go first? I know you had some damage left over from our non-canon episode.
Does non-canon also include XP?
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah, nothing was canon. That episode was it was a fever dream. It was a fever dream induced from you cooking a bunch of things that should not be cooked in an oven and smoking out your entire workshop. It was all a shared hallucination.
The first time, not the last time. I will indulge vice to do stress. One, amazing. Cool.
Beautiful.
I will indulge stress again, and then that is 5. Much better.
That is a lot better. Congrats. Are you going to spend a coin or rep for more actions, or is that what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
All right. Next up, Jake, Vega. What would you like to do for this downtime activity before things jump off? Huh.
I will heal.
That's a good call.
I
Yeah.
think I'm okay on stress because I don't want to overindulge. So I'll just be chilling with the 3.
You're gonna get a Thingama to stable you up a bit since he has some points in Physiker, I believe.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the time. I'm waiting for the point where you say, "No, I'm gonna go to a doctor."
Never happened.
Where's the fun in that?
He's a doctor.
In love. I have 4 dice in Tinkerer, but I have a level 2 harm, which is a -1 die. But I have Physiker, which is a +1 die. So will it just be 4 even?
That sounds like it to me.
Boom.
Awesome.
Lovely.
Well, didn't spell that right.
Also, for our audience, don't forget we have. Oh, I haven't. 1 second. I gotta start up. You guys loved it so much last time. I think we all did. So I'm gonna begin a new challenge, and this one's gonna extend through the month, and it is started. The Fight the GM clock. You can spend your channel points, of course, as always, to give additional dice to the players to decide a consequence or a devil's bargain for them, or put it towards the Fight the GM challenge. And when that fills up, I am going to pull a cue from Star Trek and insert myself into the game and just basically abuse and harass my players very unfairly. It was a great time. I can't wait to do it again.
I'm waiting
in a
for
canon
this to happen.
episode.
Yeah. I'm waiting for this to just hit us at the worst possible moment. We're fighting like the big bad boss, and you just pop up. It's like, hey, you have to fight me now. I'm like,
I'm waiting.
I have all my stress.
I really want it to. I want to be the big bad boss. You don't understand how bad I want to secretly be like, oh, I was my own bad guy the whole time. Oh, and thanks to the chat, we have a +1 to your next roll. So don't forget that, because I often forget. All right. So moving on, you got a 4, so that means you heal 2 slices in your little healing clock there.
Yay, it filled up.
All right.
I am no longer butler snatched, nor am I butler punched.
God, that's from forever ago.
I know.
Man, that's a lasting trauma there. What is your second downtime action you would like to achieve?
I will train.
Train, choo. Lovely.
My resolve. By doing this, I will be swaying Thingama not to take drugs for about 3 hours.
Oh, wow. That is a practice in resolve.
How about now?
No.
How about now? Is it 3 hours yet?
No.
What about me? And the other Thingama raises his hand. Can I do drugs?
Prove to me
he
that
not
you're
do
the real
drugs
Thingama, and I might.
Oh, okay. And then he starts snorting something off the floor that he just found.
That was mine.
Well, it was really mine. So, you want some?
You handsome son of a bitch. Yeah.
All right. Do you spend a coin or rep to do anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
All right. Lastly but not leastly, I say that too much. That's not even clever. Barnum, what would you like to do for your downtime?
I need to do my vice, so I'm gonna go do the lightning thing.
The lightning. Yeah, and other Barnum will join you because it's about time. She essentially says, "Hey, do you wanna?"
Yes, I would love to.
I got new string for the kite. And she grabs your hand and you skip off merrily to the edge of the electric fence so you can literally roast yourselves with electroplasmic energy. Go ahead and indulge that. Oh, you did. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that new string she got for the kite was not very conductive.
I'm gonna have to do it again. So second one, I'm doing it again.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
That's marginally better.
It's
Yeah, it
marginal.
turns out having the two of you I don't want to say anything like scientifically inaccurate here, because this game's all about scientific accuracy. Okay, so today's session, we are paying back the grinders the favor you owe them by jacking a Leviathan Hunter ship. So, if I may, I guess let's go ahead and set some scene. We could put you guys, per se, in a good old, at the docks, perhaps, in a warehouse. You're surrounded by, this is an important question. Your doppelgangers, the alternate yous that consider themselves the real yous. What's the compromise there? What are you doing with that? Who's going where?
Can we send them on another? We owe more than one favor to more than one group, don't we?
You do, yes. You also owe the Lost, a group of For the People, a faction that aims to take down workhouses and coal houses and such.
So what do you say? Sorry. What do you say about? I'm sorry.
Just love
hold on.
loses it for a second. I have to like recalibrate the accent a little bit. I'm like,
Let me paint an even bigger bullseye dead in the center of my fucking back.
Yeah, make it easy for us.
What do you say about sending these guys on a little favor pay package of their own?
it's the least they could do.
Yeah, earn your keep.
And then I look at other Vega and I'm like, what do you say?
Other Vega says, well, yeah, that's a good idea, but not because you said it. The real ones can take care of this just fine.
Oh, you've got an ego. I see. Okay.
I've got an ego.
I'm just gonna look the other
Clever.
Barnum both just to make eye contact and just.
She just shrugs. And the others essentially agree, in essence, that they'll go and take care of this job while you guys go do, frankly, the more dangerous one. And other Barnum says, I see a benefit to not having to put ourselves in harm's way with the Leviathan Hunters any more than we have to.
I see a benefit to sending you to try to organize the workhouses. So, hey, it's a win-win.
Seems like something I would do, doesn't it?
Hmm.
And she winks at you. And then all of you go your separate ways. Next scene, like we were going over. Let's do docks, warehouses. So you guys are in a meeting with the grinders. You're surrounded by just the most, even compared to other scoundrels and criminals, these guys are beefy and muscular and scary looking. Every single one of them has some sort of scar or injury, and most of them have some sort of bodily mutation caused from the acidic, poisonous rains and fumes that they were constantly exposed to. And the leader of the grinders essentially tells you, all right, so this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. The Leviathan Hunters are all going ashore, leaving one of their hunting ships relatively unguarded, with a skeleton crew from what we could scope out. Now, there's going to be a lot of them still, so any attention we draw whatsoever is bad news for us. Any. Now, I know your crew is allegedly known for doing things quietly. Allegedly. But either way, we need you to get on board, neutralize any crew members that could stand in our way. We'll be on standby. We'll take care of the engines, getting her ready to sail, so to speak. But this is a large ship, the largest any of us have ever been on or seen. It's the size of several small blocks in the city. These are gargantuan, made to fight eldritch beasts. It's not to be taken lightly. If it seems too easy, it probably is. What I want to know from you three, what are you bringing to the table? Tell me you have some sort of plan to approach this. You've had several days.
I'm just good at sneaking. We'll get in, make sure everything's hunky-dory, and get out. It'll be fine.
How are you planning to get to the ship? There are still others docked, and there will be some on the water at least. scouting for any trouble.
With a gather information roll, of course.
I don't understand.
While this conversation was going on, I was just on the side taking things out of my pockets that are loud, like little horns and like little, and just like making a smile.
The guy next to you is like looking down at it, looking back up at you.
Motherfucker.
How do you fit that all in there?
Yeah, you can't ask them that.
Oh my, she's absolutely insane. And the leader says, if you need my crew to run distractions, interference on anything, we can attempt, but we don't have the numbers we once did. Our support is limited and we'll be focusing on getting the ship ready to move, so you'll be on your own for the engagement.
All right. I'll gather as much information as we can. And we'll make a call from there.
All right. Don't let us down.
No worries, mate.
You wouldn't like to see the repercussions.
Probably
And
not.
everyone clears off. So what are you doing to what are you doing to gather info? What are you trying to gather info on?
The weak points of the ship. Least guarded places on the ship. Easiest access. If there are any
Right.
hatches. If it'd be easier to go in from the top or maybe the bottom.
All right. How are you going about gathering that info?
I'd like to maybe Barnum helps me steal a disguise of one of the sailors on said ship. And so I can kind of roam for a minute just to see, at least roam in proximity to the ship unseen to
Is
check
this
out
like,
everything from the outside.
Is this a thing I need? Or is this just narratively, or is this like a?
In my mind, it was narratively. It was just
Okay.
how we're gathering the information.
Okay, well, narratively, I murdered a sailor, and I was like, it's got a few, it's got a few blood stains, but surely they won't notice. That could be from anything.
So narratively, Thingama gets all of the drugs, and then he uses the arcane implements to.
I was like, how are you about to do this drug? I was like, drug heist?
All right. This is getting a bit complicated. So hold on. So let's say, acquiring some disguises, that'll take a non-fortune roll to do that, probably, first of all. There will be some risk involved with that. So tell me what roll you would like to make, Barnum. If you're murdering, what action are you approaching said murder with?
I'm gonna wreck them, obviously.
I'm gonna wreck them. All right. So that'll be a good old risky standard. So go ahead and go for it.
Could I use my? No. Okay, never mind. Nothing. Never mind. Okay.
A 6.
Three,
All right.
4 plus 6.
All right. You what? You wait for some poor bastard to walk out of the bar. Good old scary clown in the alley.
Scary clown in the alley.
You know that old trick, the oldest trick in
Scary
the book.
clown in the drain. We all float down here.
Oh my goodness.
Mentality.
All right. Oh, so
Probably
you're like
not
yanking this
copyright.
dude into the water, like down off the docks.
No. I'll just hide into the shadows, and when he walks by, I'll just be like, "Wanna play?" Child play. I don't know. I'm trying all the movies.
All right. So with that, you do of course acquire a disguise that will allow you a better. You do now have a ship worker's disguise uniform, I guess. Leviathan Hunter uniform. There we go. I had to string those words together. All right. So for gathering information, what are you doing now? Jake, you said you were using the disguise to. How are you going about that?
I just have the disguise on, and I am just roaming in proximity to the ship. You know what? I'll climb aboard the ship. You know, they have it docked, so there's got to be a bridge leading onto the deck of the ship. So I'll just.
Okay, let me set that scene a little better. The ship itself, being as massive as it is, it doesn't dock in the normal docks. It's actually out a ways, like in the harbor.
Okay, then I'll just stay on shore and kind of check everything out from there with whatever
just what, like a spyglass, like staring at the ship.
Yeah, just
I'll
staring
take
at it, checking it, everything.
I'll take it. So are you studying it?
Surveying the area.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And I won't put a risk on that one. That'll be a good old-fashioned fortune roll. So don't worry about the position or effect too much.
Gotcha. I hit the wrong button. Give me just a second.
So this guy's standing on the dock, just staring out with a spyglass, looking like he's posing for a painting. Oh, that was you rolled resistance. So
hot diggity damn.
All right.
Roll fortune. On. Sorry.
Got it. There you go.
1 die.
So that's a 50% chance of success. That's not bad.
Yay.
Oh wow. All right, so you can tell it is definitely a ship. It is on the water. All right, no, with a 3, honestly, you can't gain much information. This thing is massive. It is Goliath, like not quite as big as the Leviathan that Thingama and Barnum encountered on the sea, but it is still a ship that has to be big enough to fight the damn things. So it is no small matter. With the 3, you won't get that much information. The thing looks practically impregnable. It does look like technically perhaps Huppledepup or something can pull up to the sides and rope up there, but you'll be pretty much within full view of everyone on the docks while doing so. Now, luckily for you, and this is kind of a freebie even without your survey, the docks are bustling. They're busy because, like the Grinders leader said, most of the Leviathan hunters are ashore for some sort of celebration, some sort of event that's going on. And there you have it. That's about what you can gather. As for a best approach, can't get much with that 3.
Let's see. How many could we say how many uniforms did we get? Am I up there too? Can I do a study roll?
You guys can like swap uniforms, I guess.
Okay, let's say that he comes down here and he's like, "Oh, no, didn't see much now, did I?" That's my impression of you. That's what I hear.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Let me try. Give me that.
All right. So what are you doing differently from him? Because it's implied through his fail roll that action, the simple survey, failed. So it'll be the same result unless you do something to change.
What if I did a study instead? I did a study to see like if there's any. He did one to see if there were any weak points, right? That was kind of his.
Yeah.
So I do one to see if there's any like. I don't want to just say something that also means weak points. I'm gonna do one to see if there are like any windows I could like bust through on the side that no one would.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Or maybe wait, maybe anything like any way to go underneath.
Go for it.
A hatch. We have an extra die, so we never.
You do have an extra die. Completely forgot that. Go ahead and add that.
I didn't use that.
We have 2 extra.
You did not.
Whoever remembers gets to use it.
What is my position and effect?
This will be a fortune roll. You're still just scouting, and since you got the disguise, you're fairly safe.
Oh, it's just 1. Okay, it's just 1. And I'm gonna take it.
The excitement of clicking.
Antissa.
What?
Patient.
Holy crap, man, it did not pay off. Yeah, for what it's worth, the thing once again looks impregnable. Those windows reinforced, it seems. Hell, I'm giving you too much information for that too, but there you have it. Nothing especially helpful in terms of weak points or better routes to go about. Essentially, you guys are going to be going in the dark. Blades in the dark. Oh God, help me. All right. So what's next, crew? What's the plan?
Can we if we can come up with something narratively, can we try another fortune roll just to see, or should we just kind of roll with it?
I think we should just, in the spirit of the game, just roll with it.
Well, didn't they say that they could create a diversion for us?
They did say so.
How do we get them to do that?
You would make a command roll and tell them what you intend for them to do.
Okay. I want to say sort of a communication method, I guess.
Oh, like?
I don't know. Like I was gonna say like walkie-talkies, but I don't want to have a tinker roll. So I was like, wait, let me figure it out. I saw it coming. Yeah, I imagine that we set up a plan ahead of time, and I can put up fingers to tell them, like when I need them. We can do some kind of like.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's roll with it. Let's get into the score, and everything we're doing right now, we'll retroactively add to it to get this moving, get this ball rolling. All right,
I have an idea for us to get out there.
Okay.
Just for the record, the diversion we use to lure whoever away from the docks, or at least distract them while we hop on a little dinghy to kind of go out there a little unseen, as opposed to using huppity-pup, since it would be very easily seen.
Your mic is kind of echoey.
Is it?
Talk now.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. All right, so let's pick a plan and a detail for that plan. Everything else is so much bread and butter. So for this plan, would you call this an assault stealth? It sounds stealthy. Sounds stealthish.
It's stealthish.
Yeah, nice and stealthy. And the point of infiltration. That's the important detail. So regardless of how you're going about it, what's the point of infiltration you're going with? You said you're sailing the boat up to the ship?
Yeah, and I would just guess we what?
Can we scuba dive? Is that a possibility?
I was trying to think of that, or flying above, and
I was trying to think of flying above too, but I couldn't figure out how we would do that.
Any resources for either of those.
That'd be cool.
Acquire asset helicopter.
God.
Acquire asset batwing.
I like that you're saying it like Go-Go Gadget over there.
Acquire asset, let me inside.
Acquire asset Batwing. Go-Go Gadget. Fortune. I don't know.
All right, so point of infiltration. Pick one, we'll roll with it. You'll just have a minus or plus to your engagement roll depending on the difficulty of it.
Climb up onto the deck of the ship.
Okay.
All right, so we're climbing the side.
Climbing the side of the ship. We're just gonna grapple up.
If you want to do your scuba dive thing, we could say like there's a way in there or something, but
no, that sounds good. I'm just
all
like
options open.
Let's try it.
All right. So for an engagement roll, of course, this will be when you're dealing with the first obstacle. So first, let's set the scene. So you guys are on your little dinghy. Right now, the docks are overflowing with drunk Leviathan hunters, drunk sailors, even some of the Imperial military, not in force or anything, have come out to celebrate this. You don't actually know what the celebration is, sans gather information roll. But at this point, you can go ahead and roll your command roll to set up for this. Whoever wants to give the signal for the grinders to do whatever distraction they got planned.
I can do that. Funny. Wait, go ahead. Pick it up.
I have no dots in command.
Nice.
Oh, I don't have anything in command either. Do you, Vega?
Nope, nobody.
All right.
Great.
So go ahead and just go for it. This will be great.
What's our position?
Your position, it'll be risky standard. Yeah, good old risky standard.
Okay.
4.
All right, so
4.
you give the signal as your little dinghy is getting ready to gear up, and you see off in the distance behind a crate, one of the grinders, he has a hood pulled up, he looks at you, he nods, and then he goes up to the nearest Leviathan hunter captain and just decks them in the face. And there's suddenly gasps and screams all around. and he starts sprinting down the docks, I don't know, ripping off his clothes and screaming, "Freedom for the people!" And he's gathering eyes and attention. A couple of the Leviathan hunters come up with their weapons, sabers, the blue coats trying to arrest him. Some other grinders come out and start running interference with him. And unfortunately, they are arrested. Not every grinder in the gang, but several of them. And that'll, for the risky position, is anything involving the grinders or commanding them will have a worse effect. So, however, you guys, your dinghy starts going across the harbor towards this massive ship. It seems like it's further than it is, but as you get up close to it, it's just overwhelming. Just like the Leviathan Hunter, once again, it's just blocking all vision in two directions. And to get ropes up there, how are you guys getting up there? Select your load. That's important. I always got to remember to do that. Select your load for this mission.
I see no reason not to have a heavy load.
Same.
Because we advanced our crew sheet, our crew upgrades allow us to have thief rigging. So that's 2 free load of tools or gear. So if it says tools or gear next to it, we get 2 for free.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice. All right.
Get down here so I don't forget.
All right. So how are you getting up here? What items?
Climbing gear.
All right, beautiful. So throwing up your climbing gear, it hooks to the rail of the Leviathan Hunter ship, and you guys begin your ascent. And as you get to the deck of the ship, it's amazing. When he said it was the size of several city blocks, he wasn't exaggerating. It looks like you're practically on a city street, complete with buildings as well. This thing stretches into every direction. You can see the bridge way up above you. It's like a full tower that you would have to scale to get to it. And what's your first order of business once you're on the ship? Mind you, you don't immediately see anyone on the ship. You don't see any of these guards or skeleton crew yet.
I want to find the highest vantage point possible to really get a good look at everything going on the ship so we know how many people we're dealing with.
All right, now mind you, that highest vantage point, there's always going to be someone if someone's in that bridge, they're going to be at a higher vantage point than you. So there's a risk of you being seen.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go step into the shadows as close as I can to the nearest tall bit.
So you can do this. It'll just come with inherent risk to be aware of.
Totally fine.
Okay.
I feel like that's my entire gig is prowling in risky situations.
All right, so you're prowling up there. You get up there, and this is when we're going to do our engagement roll. As you're encountering the first obstacle, which is there is, in fact, someone in the bridge. You don't know yet, but someone in the bridge is keeping an eye out on the deck. So for this engagement roll, that's 1 die for sheer luck. Is it bold or daring? I would say hell yeah. Complex or contingent on fact, yeah. The plan's detail does not expose the vulnerability of the targets. They are strongest against this approach. They do have special preparations, so that's a -1. Another +1 because of your little diversion that you did with the grinders. And and there are enemies or rivals interfering with this operation. Now I can tell you, but I know we like little plot twists and spoilers, so can I keep it a secret for a second?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool beans.
Can I do something to assist all of this?
Yeah, what you got?
So I see Vega heading up one way. Thingama would like to go to the opposite end, like go a couple blocks down and start to like tinker lights off. So like mess with something so that lights can shut off.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make a fortune roll with it. Since this is to assist the engagement roll.
Fortune, how many dice?
However many you got in Tinker.
Well, that is 3 instead of 4 because I have 2 harm. Notes, lights off. And this is a A 1, a 2, and a 5.
Ooh.
All right. So with that 5, I will let you have a +1 to your engagement roll because it does, at the very least, briefly flicker off all of the lights as Vega is getting to the top of his vantage point, top of a, let's call it a tower. Let's call it a large. He doesn't realize it till he gets to the top of it, but looking backwards, he sees that the tower he climbed on narrows off into a sharp point. He is currently standing on the largest, most gigantic harpoon gun you have ever seen in your life. So that's 2 dice for a little engagement roll. So let's see how this starts off. So roll 2d6. Boom. You got a 6. All right. So Vega, as you get to the top, you could swear up in the bridge you see a flicker of light in the windows, but then abruptly all of the lights go off around you. All the little spotlights and searchlights that are on the ship to keep it lit go off. And so what are you trying to do with this roll? What are you trying to do with 10?
Well, I've already seen the fact that there's a guy manning this giant harpoon, right?
No one's in the harpoon. I need like a picture or something. So a ship has a big ship will have the giant tower at one end. That's the bridge, like the command deck, so to speak. That's the closest to a watchtower that's on this thing.
Okay.
That can see over the entire ship. You are standing on, you have climbed up on the giant harpoon.
Okay. Then I am going to...
So from that, actually, since your engagement roll was a 6, you're in a controlled position starting out. You see that there are still several people on the ship. They are very spaced out, but they are walking in pairs and guard formations, keeping an eye out, swapping, patrol routes, etc. The whole shebango boingo. So what are you guys doing next?
When I see the lights go out, I just slither into the closest door and start heading down into the mechanics of the ship.
Okay. Sounds good. What is your goal for that? What are you trying to accomplish with it?
We're trying to are we trying to steal the ship or destroy the ship or whatever we want?
I think we're trying to neutralize it quietly.
You're trying to steal it for the grinders.
Heard. I'm trying to get down into the mechanics and the wheels to see if there's any way to kind of cause some chaos down there.
All right. Oh, and by the way, Vega, while you're up there, you do see some of the grinders climbing on board the other side and sneakily scouting throughout the ship. However, you do see other figures way off in the distance, in the back of the ship, towards the bridge, the deck. The command deck, so to speak, tower. You see other figures climbing on board that they aren't wearing the same attire. All the grinders have the same cloaks on. These other figures, they look smaller and less mean, but you can't make out exactly who they are, but they're slinking onto the ship as well.
Okay. All I want to do is communicate this info to them. That's all I want to do. I just want to make sure that I can let Barnum and Thingama both know everything that I'm seeing right now.
Cool. So before I go, I'm guessing I see that. And I guess I'm going down there to kind of be able to control the jump starting or the cutting off of the ship if we need to.
All right. So what actions are you making? So let's see the next obstacle. So the obstacles currently, of course, are the guards, the crew on the ship. What other obstacles would there be necessarily on a Leviathan Hunter ship? I had this in my head, but then I started second guessing half of it.
Well, imagine as I'm getting down there, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at most of the time. I'm probably just oh, all this machinery is very foreign to me.
Yeah, let's say the other obstacle is the machinery itself. If you're trying to, if you shut down all the machinery, the Leviathan Hunters want to control it so they can take off. If you shut it all down, you're sitting ducks. You just disable the ship for a moment. So in theory, your goals are to neutralize the crew and get to the bridge where you have control over the ship, so to speak.
Okay.
And the grinders have to get to the engine rooms and have that under control where you're heading. So let's do that. How about that? So you're heading down into the decks, the lower decks. You're in this labyrinthine corridor of pipes and metal. Go ahead and are you trying to?
Do I
just
see
break
anyone
things,
down
or-
there? Is there anyone down there?
It is dark and, like I said, labyrinthine. So it'll probably take some sort of roll to navigate your way through there successfully.
Well, I borrowed Thingama's night vision goggles earlier, so I'll just put those on.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. We don't have to plan things or that.
Well, go ahead and take a stress if that's a thing Victor's down with for the flashback.
Victor, can I have it? Okay, good.
All right. So what role are you making? We got a roll for things.
I'm gonna study it or survey it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna survey just to see who all's down here, what all's down here, before
All
it's me, because all the lights are off. So I want to see make sure no one sees me before I see them. Because I imagine if it's a big engine room, there's got to be people working it. Probably a little like.
All right, that'll be controlled standard.
Mm.
And for your little goggles, you can get a +1 to the roll.
Thanks. Little goggles. I got a 6.
All right, beautiful.
For my effect, they go to limited because I have a harm.
Oh, so
It's
it
controlled limited.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Then yeah, you can. What exactly were you surveying for?
I just wanted to see who all was down there, how many people are down there.
All right. It is a massive city-sized ship, so to scan the whole thing, probably wouldn't take one. You, as far as you can tell, there's no one in the immediate vicinity, but there's you.
I am with her, and I want to disable like blaring alarms, like.
All right. So I'll say with her survey roll. Let me give something to this. With her survey roll, she can help you. She can help you through these corridors because even though Thingama's used to the technician side of it, there's still a lot of just same looking hallways and things. So you can get it would be risky standard, but we'll say risky great for the sake of her role.
What action?
I assumed you were tinkering.
Okay, good. I didn't want to. Okay, so risky, and then you said great, but oh well. And then -1 die because of my level 2 harm, and that is a 4, a 5, and a 5.
All right. So with a 5, first of all, your great effect, you find a very blatant power line that you recognize as something that would transfer sound, something that would cause an alarm system to sound, and you easily just rip it. However, there has to be a consequence for your risky position. And you hear a voice down just around this corner of pipework. You say, "What the hell was that?" And you hear the metallic footsteps of boots on metal as someone rounds a corner. They have the overalls on, they've got the goggles, they've got a wrench, and they say, "Hey, stop that!" And he starts immediately running towards you with his wrench raised. And he is about to club you. So
Okay,
we're
I get
in-
in front of him and I finesse, just knock this dude out.
you finesse his
I just
head off.
Oh, I guess I skirmish. I'm sorry, my brain is.
That is okay. We're all a little there. All right. That'll be
A skirmish.
all right. For reasons you don't know yet, that'll be actually no. It'll still be risky limited.
Okay, so I guess to keep it from being risky 0, I'll spend a stress.
How about this? I'll give you this narratively. Let me set some
Okay,
stakes
okay.
that feel like something. So you immediately come forward, and what are you doing to this guy without rolling narratively? What were you about to do?
I was just gonna like get in front of Thingama, and I'm just gonna murder this guy. I'm just gonna stab him.
All right, so you
I'm-
stab him. You stab him right in the torso with your knife, and he doesn't react in the slightest. He grabs your wrist and he yanks the knife out manually. His strength overpowers yours, and you see some sort of black liquid pouring from the wound.
Do you mean like
And-
a David Jones thing right now?
You look up at his face and he says, "You're not supposed to be here." And his grip on your wrist is overwhelmingly strong. This man, as you realize, looking a little deeper into the goggles, with your night vision goggles, you can see a bit through it. You see just clockwork rotating metallic lenses instead of eyes. This man is a hull, a sort of automaton, so to speak.
Oh, gotcha.
Essentially a robot that can appear disguised as a human.
Okay, well then, with that said, I don't know how to use this. I don't know what tool this would be, but can I just throw water on him then to short circuit him? I just didn't know what would be an unusual. Like, I don't know.
I guess if you have water on your side, that wouldn't work that way. They're well made. They're more well made than that. So you could try to do something to improve your position or your effect in some way, but you have to think of something.
Cool. Thinking, and looking. Very quick. Can I just cut his head off? Like a zombie, you know?
It'll be risky limited.
Okay, I'll do it.
However, don't you have a harm?
Yeah.
So that would be no effect for you.
Okay. Thingama, you got anything?
Well, aren't you saving me from the Tinker thing? So you have to make a roll, or
I don't know anymore.
No, we've set the
Okay.
new narrative stakes. The thing is grabbing onto her wrist currently.
okay? I thought
She's in front
this
of you.
Was her rolling for something? So I will take his wrench, and then wreck him with it. Just try and stab it into his gut.
All right, that'll be risky limited.
All right, risky, limited. Battle. For a wreck, that is a 2, a 3, and a 6.
Okay, so with your
So talented.
6, you managed to take the wrench. Your wrench, you said?
His wrench.
His wrench. Oh man. All right. So you grab his wrench out of his hand and you stab into him with it. And he lets go of Barnum's wrist. And he grabs both of you by the front of your shirts and just throws you backwards down this hallway and starts slowly approaching you Terminator style. Meanwhile, Vega, you're up here on this harpoon. What are you doing as they're fighting the Terminator?
In relation to the bridge, where is this harpoon that I am at?
Almost about midship. You've got a few blocks to travel to even get there.
Okay, so I mean, if my job is to neutralize these people as I see fit, then the first thing I'm gonna do is find the person closest to me and out of sight from everyone else, start killing.
All right. So what actions are that going to be?
I want to
Crawling up to people?
Well, yeah, basically. So if I'm on the harpoon,
You don't got to worry about the logistics too much.
okay.
It's a narrative freeform game. Just roll with it.
Then I'm gonna prowl away from the harpoon, kind of climb down to the nearest flat surface in the shadows, waiting. Well, no, I'm gonna stay there and wait for somebody to walk below me. From the top of the harpoon,
This is
I wait for.
very much like the Batman Arkham games.
I was literally picturing Batman Arkham style. I'm hiding on the harpoon, waiting for one of the sets of guys that I see to walk below me, and I'm going to ambush them from the top of this thing.
Okay, that'll be risky limited for the same reason.
Are you kidding me? They're all this way? End my
Your
life.
character doesn't know this yet, but yes.
God, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't change it now. Like, if I change it, I'm operating like as me. Knowing this.
Yeah, the game kind of, it allows you to metagame a bit that way.
You know what? I thought about this beforehand. I just want to fire the harpoon at one of these things.
That is operated, you know what? Hold on. Screw it. If that's a thing you say you want to do, let me think. How would this even, I don't know how the logistics of a ship like this would work, like the mechanical logistics.
Well, it says in my finesse, finesse an item from an enemy, employ subtle misdirection of sleight of hand, handle a vehicle or a mount.
All right. You know what? there's a little chair on it. It's like a little chair with levers that you can operate. Why not? It's Fantasyland. We can do whatever. All right. So with that, I'll give you risky for a giant harpoon. Honestly, risky great. For a giant, I did describe it as the largest harpoon gun you've ever seen in your life. So you know what? Screw it. Go ahead.
Fire it directly into a couple of these guys that I see walking across the deck.
Okay. So you get in it and you start operating it, and it's like.
Can I use the bonus die that we got, or have we already used that?
Did one of you guys use it already?
Someone already used it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh
you
no!
start rotating this massive harpoon, and the sound of it, it's not quiet. It's very notable. The two crewmen that you're about to fire, both of them look up at you. Then they look at each other, then back at you, and they start just sprinting at an inhuman speed. And they get up to the harpoon, and you see them just just jumping from wire to wire, from cable to cable, from pipe to pipe, just anime jump like Naruto jumping up this thing until both of them leap up, and one of them is on either side of the seat that you're currently standing in. And you are now in a desperate position.
Okay. Can we go back to, I got an idea.
Okay. So going back below decks, back into the metal pipework, the labyrinthine maze of pipes and metal, where you guys are facing off against just one of these things.
Thingama's heart is a little bit broken. He doesn't know why, but he's like, a lost opportunity. No. But.
So I want to do a study roll to see if there's anything in the engine room that's controlling all of them. We're in the engine room and they're mechanical, so it seems to me like something on the ship's controlling them, right?
You're not necessarily in the engine room so much as in a sort of hallway.
Okay, I thought you said we were in, sorry, that was my bad. I thought you said we were in the engine room.
You're in the below deck guts of the ship, leading to the engine room, but not quite in it.
Okay, cool. Well, then I guess maybe it would be a good idea to try to tinker to disable this dude to see if there's any way to disable him. I'm gonna study to see if there's any way to disable this guy.
Ah, okay. I will give you.
Maybe I ask Thingama if he'll do a little distraction, like run off to the side and see if he'll do that.
Sure. Yeah, I will sway him to the opposite side of the hallway going, hey, I have blood and you have
oil?
Wires.
Let's go.
Hey, check it out. And then I start juggling like Barnum would, but I don't have anything to juggle, so.
All right. All right, so you're going to pay a Are you gonna push to assist her roll then?
Sure. Was that a stress?
That would be 2 stress.
What? I'm swaying.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I said.
Oh, my bad. Okay, that is a separate action. So you know what? Go ahead and take a. We'll keep it simple for now. We're still in the first half of the score. I have a lot of punishment. Risky. Risky standard.
Boom. All right.
They seem. I'm like over here reading the page for it.
Sorry. Do you want me to re-roll that because I have a -1 die to that, or do you want to take the lower, the higher?
They seem to go in order regardless of what you rolled. So we'll just say the first one counts. So with that 6, all right, you successfully. He takes his focus off of Barnum and his head just turns towards you, and he reaches down to grab you by your shirt, and you just barely skirt out of the way. You start dancing and distracting him, and he keeps trying to grab for you and just picks up his wrench and starts swinging it at you wildly. Barnum, you have an increased effect on your roll.
Okay, so what is my effect now? Risky.
What are you doing? Was this
I
a
was
wreck?
gonna try to. No. I was gonna just try to study him to see if there's any way to disable him.
Oh, okay. Oh, in that
That's why I
case, yeah,
wanted
you
to
can have it. His attention's off of you, so I'll give you a controlled standard.
Okay, cool. Wait, I was studying. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Not that I have anything in either, but we'll pretend. And I'll take a stress to keep it at standard. And then yeah.
That would be 2 stress, by the way, to bring it up to standard. Anytime you push yourself is 2 stress.
Got it. Well, I got a 2, so it doesn't matter.
Well, hot dog. Yeah, as far as you know, stuff you would know just as a citizen of Duskwall. You know what hulls are. Their bodies are entirely metallic. They run on electroplasmic energy. They need to recharge by plugging into an industrial grade generator. And that stuff just like in the book. Like, so I would assume maybe that was too much of a freebie, but there you go. I already gave it to you.
I want to use my lantern and light him on fire to melt him because melt him.
Yeah, all right. This will be I don't think he's especially susceptible to fire. We'll call it risky standard.
Well, that would
It's
make
also underneath the lantern, if you click on it, it says a fancy. So either a simple oil lantern or a fancy electroplasmic lamp.
I see. It doesn't say he's especially resistant to fire, so why not? Risky standard.
I guess that's like a finesse.
And
So
just
like
to
him-
clarify, these holes are the thing you had in mind to really screw us over for this, right? Or is there something else going to happen after that? Oh God. Oh, you son of a bitch.
I guess that's a finesse to try to light him on fire because I don't know what else it would be unless it's a wreck, and that doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense.
Aren't you good at skirmish?
I'm good at skirmish. My skirmish and finesse are actually the same.
Yeah, I'd say either of those would qualify. I'd give you the same risky standard for either of those. For Rake, it would be a desperate great. Because as always, Rek implies just being brutal and just offhanded and forget your own protection.
I'll take a desperate great.
All right.
Because that's going to take me to desperate standard. And I got a 2, a 6, a 6, and a 3.
All right. So with those 2 6s, thank goodness, because man, that desperate was gonna wreck you. All right. So you come up behind. Do you have any catchy lines or anything as you smash him in the head with an oil lamp?
It's about to get lit.
Oh, I shouldn't have even asked. All right. So you smash him from behind. Was it an oil lamp or electric one?
Oil.
I'm sorry for asking. All right. So
I don't know. That's why I just made something up. I just picked one.
All right, so you smash him behind. He's on fire now. Let's go to break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere or do. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Carnage. As we left off, all of our scoundrels were currently facing off face to face, toe to toe, head to head with hulls, which are the, so to speak, automatons of the Blades in the Dark universe. We last left off, Vega was up above deck mounting on a giant harpoon, as two of these things were on either side of him, very threateningly, and Barnum just smashed one over the head with an oil lantern, that was with a critical success. So now this hull is on fire, and you watch as the flame spreads over his entire body, and his flesh just starts to peel off and melt and burn away, revealing just a construction of clockwork, metal, and gears that make up the entirety of his innards and his flesh. And he turns around towards you, Barnum, now actively on fire. You see that the metal is starting to warp and bend a bit. This thing is still going. However, with your crit success, I'm going to give you a chance to do something before he acts, and nobody's going to like it. So, what's your next move?
Sorry, I'm like, he looks like he's on his way out, so I'm gonna just try to get away from him. Just
Yeah,
move
this thing is like metagamey wise. He is on his last leg. You're in a good position for something.
Yeah, I just kind of want to wait him out. I just try to get away from him until it doesn't seem like we can beat him. So I'm just like, get away until he. All
right, so you're just gonna let him tire himself out chasing you until he melts apart.
Yeah, so narratively, I'm gonna like kind of bound and leap and backflip and kind of make him chase me a little, like, you know, when like you're trying to get a puppy to chase you, a little bit like that.
All right, what action are you gonna use to get this death puppy to chase you?
I guess sway would be the thing, right?
Sure. Charm, logic, deception.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get him to chase, man. I wasn't sure.
I'll let it happen. It'll be a good old risky standard.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not a tune or really I guess it could have been command, but I don't have anything in that. But
you could theoretically attune. He does have electroplasmic stuff powering him.
So that might be a theory later. Yeah, that's a good note. Good to note. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna try to sway him to follow me down the hallway, getting him away from Thingama, so maybe Thingama can do something. But yeah. So what your position was? Risky standard?
Yeah.
Limited. Oh, it's a 5 and a 4. Not too mad about that.
All right, so that is a good setup maneuver at the very least with your limited effect. This thing does start, it ignores Thingama entirely, and it is visibly moving slower. Its joints are creaking, and it's having trouble following after you. However, with a risky, I have to give some sort of wonderful consequence. So, with he starts suddenly crackling. These flames have electricity sparking all around it, and he touches the ground just in front of you, and you watch as the electricity sparks up and comes at you, and unless you resist it, you will take a level 2 harm for electrocution.
You sure I can't just indulge vice?
You know what, just for the comedic effect, yeah, you can also do that.
Yeah, there you go. Love that for me.
That's a character thing we've decided, so screw it.
You know what? I get a 1, but I'll take it. And
right.
I'll use my
Also, yeah, are you resisting this or not?
Yeah, I'll resist it.
Now, mind you, you have 4 stress left, so if you
Well, I was gonna
what
do
you got?
with my battle board. So I was gonna expend my special armor to reduce harm.
All right, beautiful. All right, so the harm goes down to 1 level, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, and that's not your regular armor slot, by the way. That doesn't take up an item slot. That'll be just to the left of it on your special under armor uses.
Great.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, so you feel the electricity crackling through your veins, your eyes, your skin. However, this thing is definitely still focusing on you, coming towards you. What are you guys going to do to...
Thingama will come up behind it and see that some of the flesh has melted off and that it is an automaton, a ribbit. So then he will tinker to try and cut some of the tubes that make the mechanics work.
All right. As per him being on fire and currently distracted by Barnum, that'll be risky. Great.
Great. -1 die. Boop. And
I just ripped a page, y'all.
A 2 and a 4.
All right, so you reach up behind him and you immediately get in his innards, start working at them, start disconnecting things, start messing it up. And his head, just his head, does a complete 180 and looks towards you, Thingama, and his jaw drops. And once again, you see electricity. Why do we keep fumbling that word? Electricity. You start to see it crackling in his mouth, and he blasts it towards you in a sort of almost, again, anime-like beam, just a blast of sparks in your direction. And again, unless you resist or spend armor, that'll be a level 2 harm. Electrocutalid.
So if I spend armor, 2 slots per armor, then that'll reduce it down to 1 harm, and if I do 3 heavy, it has no harm?
I believe the way it works, and I'll correct it later if it's wrong, I believe each slot of armor you use is another level of harm. So 2 slots would negate the harm.
So if I spend the 2 load to apply the armor, then it'll...
Yes.
Awesome, I will do that.
All right, you do so, and you just look at him defiantly. He blasts you with the electricity, and it cackles all around your body. But you had specially prepared armor for this, and it just absorbs it, conducts it perfectly.
You're grounded.
And the head just... And the body falls to its knees and just plops over with a metallic thunk onto the ground.
Great, good thing
And it is
there's
dealt
only
with.
one of those on this ship.
And where are you guys moving to next, you two?
Well, is there any way, I don't know if we need to roll for this or if you can just tell us really quickly, is there any way that we're going to even be able to see if there's, how this thing works? Like what thing I'm going to be able to tell, or is that a roll we have to take?
Basically how I told you, it's just a construction. It's just metal and cogs and gears, and what powers it is the same electroplasmic energy that powers anything in this universe, pretty much.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's head to the engine room where there's probably more of these. And I say that exactly to Thingama.
All right, so you start sprinting towards the engine room. Meanwhile, again, back up on the deck of the ship, Vega.
I have an amazing idea, and I'm willing to die to try and pull this off.
I love that sentence. What you got?
Okay, so they're standing on each side of me, right?
Yes, while you're in the seat of this massive harpoon gun.
So I am going to throw down a smoke bomb immediately. And in the cover of that, use the cables from my climbing gear. Okay, let's play this out game mechanic wise to see how I need to go about doing this. I'll take it step by step if needed. So
Okay.
throw down the smoke bomb to confuse them first.
Okay.
And then I want to.
You do so. It is now. You throw down the smoke bomb, and all of you are absorbed in this opaque cloud of smoke. What's next?
Feel like
That's all he got.
the whole idea.
You were willing
is
to
so,
die for that?
The whole idea
Willing
is
to
so
die for the
the whole
smoke.
idea is so grandiose. I don't know how to pull it off.
Just try it. Just tell me what you want to do, and I'll give you the position
I
effect.
want to use my climbing gear to wrap around both of them and then jump out the window where the harpoon is.
All right. What action are you using for that?
I feel like it's kind of skirmishy, kind of prowly, kind of finessey. It could be any one of the three, I think.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let me think here. All right. So, in terms of finesse, I think finesse, I'd give you a better position than I would a skirmish. So that's the hard thing about coming up with these on the fly, because at this point it seems like they would be interchangeable for the action you're trying to do. It is very finessey, it's agility based. So go ahead and pick one and I'll give you a thing.
Can I pick prowl? Because I'm using the cover of the smoke to try and traverse. Like I'm jumping out of a friggin' window too. So that's very athletic.
That. I like that logic quite a bit. So yes, I'll give you, as per, you were in a desperate position before. As per your smoke bomb, I'll say you're already, that ups it to a risky position instead. And I'll say, shoot, let's just make it a risky standard. I mean, that sounds like the nicest, most polite thing I can give you here.
Okay. Let me see. You go here. Oh no, my roll 20 froze. Okay, there it goes. I'm back. Risky, standard. And does the smoke bomb give me an extra die at all? Or does that just up the effect?
That was kind of the reason for your better position.
Okay, fine. A 4.
All right, so with a 4, you successfully, in one swift move, get your climbing gear, your ropes and grappling hook around both of these guys, and making sure not to tie up yourself as well. And you leap out this window, and you feel the jerk as they both clang together, and they both come wrenching out behind you. I'm going to say that as you leap down and yank them after you, first of all, how and where are you landing? What was your plan in that regard?
To stay holding on to the window. I leap out of the window with the cable in hand, and I'm hanging onto the edge of the window. That's all right. That's what I wanted to be my position after that.
I'll say by this point, you've released a smoke bomb in a very visible place. That'll be 2 heat for your crew, as someone will notice that will draw attention.
Okay. And then from there, I'm going to wrap this cable around the harpoon.
Okay. All right.
And then from here, reach in and hit the button to fire the harpoon.
All right. As per all of that, you'll need an action roll for sure.
Okay.
What are you? What are you doing?
I mean, I feel like it goes back to my finesse, because I'm like between wrapping the cable, I don't feel like that's too hard.
So like you have to climb back up to the harpoon, tie it off, and then reach back inside to hit the big red button that says fire harpoon.
Basically, yeah.
All right. So I'll say you'd have a better chance with prowl. So with finesse, it'll be, I'll call it controlled standard. For prowl, I'd give it a risky great. As per your smoke bomb, they're tied up.
I want the prowl. Give me the risky great.
All right.
Wrap their cable around the harpoon, and then reach back in and try to fire this thing and say bye.
So your theory is to just like yeet them out of here?
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna melt them, and Jake is just like, I'm just gonna throw them out. I'm just gonna.
Risky, great. I want to see if there's anything I can do to give myself a bonus die. Nah, I don't need it. Trust it. Trust the process. Be good.
Could be worse. That could be worse.
You got the same exact roll again?
The same one.
That's phenomenal. All right, so you do so. You reach around and you hit the button, and you feel one of them grab onto your wrist as the harpoon blasts off of the ship, one of them gripping around you yanks you with them as they start flying, unless you choose to resist said consequence.
I'm very obviously going to resist, and I'll use my special ability to expend my special armor. To resist that consequence.
Is that a thing? For which ability?
For Shadow, my special ability, Shadow. I can expend my special armor to resist a consequence.
Oh.
To resist a consequence from detection. You know what? Detection or security measures.
Ooh. Okay. Then I'm just going to straight up resist the consequence regardless.
All right.
I just thought I was going to cheese my way out of that one.
Go ahead and roll prowess.
Okay.
See how much stress you take.
Nice.
All right, so you slap the button, it grabs your wrist, and the harpoon fires, and both of them tied together go flying with it up in the air. They grab your wrist and they yank you, and they just barely, you jerk your hand away, and their hand slips off of your sweaty arm as you watch them go Team Rocket's blasting off again with this harpoon. And they disappear into the water of the harbor. Meanwhile, down in the engine room, you guys do get to what seems like an enormous series of, it's some sort of strange combination of furnaces and electroplasmic conduits running all in tandem with each other. It seems like this thing uses multiple fuel sources just to operate. And as you get down there, you see several figures approaching you. And they say, "Took you long enough to get here."
Well, we had to do stuff, all right?
All right. Have you neutralized the crew? What about the bridge? Is anyone up there?
We took care of one.
100?
He was very difficult to take care of. You didn't tell us they were robots.
We had no idea they had automatons on board.
Well, now you do.
Well, thank you for the information.
You're welcome. And there's a lot of them, apparently, according to our person that's on the deck.
Well.
He did tell us that they were walking in twos and they saw.
Well, we would come with you to take care of that, but I lost a few of my boys on the docks to your little distraction. We could stay down here and hold the engine room, and we'll be ready. You can communicate over the horn. And he points to a giant, bugle-shaped horn, intercom thing that's at the top. Says, "As soon as you give us the go-ahead, we're off. But we need someone up there with the actual ignition keys to actually allow it to move."
Okay, heard. Well, can we survey to look? Well, do you guys know how they work? Do you all know who controls these little things?
We've spent half our life in machinery just like this. We can handle it.
No. I meant, can we control the robots from here?
No, there's no controlling them. There's only killing them or avoiding them.
How do you kill them?
The same as a human, but much more difficult, I imagine.
That is the worst. We melted one. Does that seem good?
It's a start. I wouldn't underestimate these things. They're very deliberately meant to look and act like humans, but they're a lot harder to kill. They all have metal hull plating, and they don't feel pain like we do.
How many grinder are down here with us?
Their crew I think they're a tier 1, so 4.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna behead anything I see that looks like a human or otherwise. And then I'm just gonna turn and start to walk out the door.
All right. So you guys make your way back to the surface, back to the deck level.
Prowling. I will lead us in a prowl so that we don't get got.
All right. Group prowl. Go ahead.
So,
Oh, and Vega, what are you doing as well? Are you heading the same direction as them?
You're muted.
You're muted, guy.
Sorry. I'm heading towards the bridge. I am going to prowl my way across the high points using the same cables that I saw these things to run across.
All right. This will be a group prowl. Jake, you get a +1 to yours. as per Ezio Assassin's Creeding across the cables at the top.
Yeah. Wait, so are they leading their own group prowl, or am I leading this?
No, just to keep it simple, everyone's a group prowl. So Vega, or who's leading it? The person that's going to take the stress for failures.
I have stress to spend. Or
I also.
Okay, go ahead.
I also have plenty of stress to spend.
Prowl's
I also
your bag,
get.
baby.
I get
All right, so you guys come up to the deck surface. You see Vega looking over while walking over a bunch of cables. He's able to communicate through you with hand signals and whatnot.
Whoop, whoop. Rolling group prowl. Sorry.
So
Is it risky standard?
Yes.
Risky standard +1 die.
All right, so you definitely you guys are good. Wow, all successes across the board. Okay, so you guys make it to the bridge. There's a single door at the bottom, a metallic door that opens. They were presuming that the guards would stop anyone from ever making it this far. And you start clambering up what looks you look upward, and it's just a long spiraling set of steps. And in the center is a lift that straight up leads to the top of the bridge. Which route are you choosing?
think stairs are quieter.
All right. So you guys start booking it up these stairs. It takes a good while. It takes a long time to get up these stairs. Precious time, which is why someone else is able to, hold on. You guys get to the top. You get to the door that leads into the bridge. There's a little porthole, and looking through it, you see that there's a man just laying flat over all the controls. And you open the door slowly, and you see that there's someone else that has a hood over their head, and they're viciously pulling things. They're preparing stuff. You see a star map, much like your own, but a lot nicer, like integrated into the wall on the side of it. And standing next to this hooded figure, you hear a voice say, like, okay, I think we're ready. We should be ready to go. I think we just got to get down to the engine room. And Samuel turns around and he makes eye contact with you guys. Lady. And the other figure turns around, and you see the scarred, messed up, injured face of Lady Yonkyat, the Leviathan hunter captain that Thingama had betrayed and tried to turn in to the Leviathan hunters. And she says, no. What the hell are you doing here?
When we were walking in, I had both pistols out, obviously, because we're not going to walk in just...
Yeah, that's fine.
Unarmed.
That's fine. Just mark it on your load.
I will. And we walk in, and I'm just going to point both of them at them and just don't move.
And she has her hand on her sword, but she doesn't draw it yet. However, Samuel is pointing what looks like a rifle, but it has a little fork prod thing on the end that's sparking electricity between it. And he says, you don't move.
Oh, Samuel. I would like that so much.
Stop talking. Just don't do anything. And Lady Yonkyat says, it's fine, Samuel.
Put that down before you hurt yourself.
What do you think you're doing? Did you come here to kill someone? You can take them.
We can take
taking
who?
this ship. Oh, you're not here for the captain.
That's the captain?
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
I'm
taking the ship. Both of you say that.
Okay, good. Good. Thank God. Thank God. I was sitting here like this shit show has to end. Somebody say something good.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
She said, I'm not letting that happen.
I don't think I asked your permission.
Are you going to make us kill you for this?
If you're willing to be swarmed with every officer, bluecoat, and hunter captain, that is just within earshot. And she indicates towards a button that you can tell is integrated to the alarm system.
Well, okay, hold on.
This is dramatic irony.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love it. All right. Why are you taking this ship?
Because we need it. I don't need to give you any reason, you traitor.
One more word. One more word.
Hey, calm down.
Samuel says, put that down!
Samuel, God help me.
All of you, just shut up. And Lady Ankiat says, Samuel. And he says, no, shut up. You too. And he looks at Thingama and says, I believed in you. I looked up to you. Why'd you do it?
While he's distracted by talking to Thingama, I'm just going to shoot him in the leg.
All right, what action are you rolling?
We're pretty close to him, right? Like we're like right there. It's not like
We'll say there's like 4 or 5 strides between you.
Okay, can I do a wreck?
Yeah, go ahead for a.
He's not looking at me.
Frankly, for a desperate, great, because that's always fun with a wreck.
It really is. Do I get any bonus?
If you have something that gives you one.
Barnum just absolutely wasn't having anything except violence.
No, of course not. I also have vicious, so I think.
Yeah, you'll get your XP.
Listen, I'm trying to get rid of the insight, y'all. It's killing me. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Can I do it? I got a 1, a 6, a 6, and a 6.
Jesus.
All right,
Paige.
so
Good friends.
you shoot him in the leg, and this little rifle. He swings towards you, but it goes wide and high, and just an electricity beam, much like the one that came out of the hole at you, just streaks across the rooftop, and he falls on his back. No, and he's just pointing it at you.
As that's happening, I immediately prowl. I go
All right.
to jump to him to grab this gun.
All right, Lady Ankiat at this point has drawn her blade,
All right.
And-
in the leg.
and
This
that'll
was
be
so bad. We could have handled this so much better.
so.
Why would you
goal.
do this to us?
I
What
was just
action
gonna
are
get
you-
Samuel to shut up, but you decided to prowl around.
What else are we supposed to do? Is Lady Ankiat not gonna react to the fact that her dude just got shot?
Probably not, to be honest. She's a little bit.
All right, so are you okay, Victor?
Yep.
This is so bad.
All right, so what is your action you're making right now, and towards whom for what?
I feel like he's just gonna start shooting. Wait, how do these rifles work? Is it just one shot and done?
Doesn't seem like it. He seems like he's ready to try shooting again.
I don't think he's gonna shoot anyone. I just wanted to shut him the fuck up.
There's no chance he's not shooting at us. There's no shot we're not getting shot at.
Hey, do what you're gonna do.
Oh my God.
I don't know. You're gonna do it. Go on.
Nothing risked, nothing gained.
It's fine. I just got a critical success with 3 6s, so I'm just like, yeah, he's probably not.
Did he look like he got harmed?
He got shot in the leg and he's on the ground. Yeah,
Okay.
he definitely got harmed.
Just enough to put him down to stop bothering us while we try to get this done.
Vega, what are you doing?
I feel like I have to stop him from shooting us.
Then do it.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna prowl and go for the gun.
All right, that'll be because he is on the ground, and as per freaking critical success, I'll say risky great, frankly. The risky is it isn't even because of him, it's because Lady Yonkia's still there.
All right. Just my standard 3 die, no bonus die. 3 dice, no bonus die.
Unless you could think of something.
Nope. A 6. Okay.
All right, so immediately as you leap forward, Lady Yonkiat swings her blade and you just duck and roll underneath it, and Samuel levels this weird rifle on Barnum as you come up underneath. And how do you disarm him? Describe it. Go.
I dive, SWAT roll, grab the gun from him, and swing up, pointing at Lady Ankiat.
Ooh, very cool. You do so. and she stops after having missed with her blade. She's about to come up for another one, but now she stops, frozen in fear, as this weapon is now pointed at her.
We don't want to kill you, but you need to stop. Thingama, do you want to answer his question? I'm just still pointing both guns, one at each of them. Because frankly, I'm kind of curious too.
Samuel, I am sorry. The last I saw you, you were in my workshop and I was going to heal you, but everything went to shit. I did it because of her, I point at Lady Ankiat. Her people, they did this to me. Drugs a hell of a thing. Lady Ankiat, we will give you this one chance to leave right now.
You heard the man.
Samuel is he's gritting his teeth, and at this point, just tears streaming down his eyes, just groaning, like gripping at the place where Barnum shot him. Lady Ankiat looks between each of you. And Thingama, if you'd like to make an action roll.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds either commandy or sway.
I have sway. So, position effect.
Position effect. Risky great, because she is still looking very much like she's at the end of her rope, as if she's not that afraid of death anymore.
Mm-hmm. I know I can spend 2 stress to make effect greater, but since it's already great, can I spend 2 stress and get an extra bonus die or something?
Yes, that is still pushing yourself, correct.
Then I will do that. Which actually, it'll just negate the -1 die to harm, so it'll just be the normal 2. So here we go. A 3 and a
Oh my god!
She glares at you. Come on, Samuel.
No,
And
Samuel stays.
That wasn't part of the agreement.
Get out of here.
He comes with me. And Samuel looks at you, Barnum, and says, "Fuck you!
Okay,
I'm gonna kill you. It's the last thing I do. You're evil. You're all evil, horrid people.
That's what we've heard.
Just kill me now." And Lady Ankiat says, "Samuel?" He says, "No, I don't care anymore."
Look at Thingama and I say,
Samuel, is this what you want?
I want you all to just die. And Lady Ankiat says, "I'm taking him. Or you'll have to kill both of us."
Ah, fuck.
That can be arranged, but only on Thingama's call. I'm happy to do it. I just need the word.
God damn it.
Everything's up to you.
Okay. In character.
Do you say okay, in character?
Think about it. Why don't you wrap his leg up before he goes?
He says, I don't need you to touch me. Stay away.
Shut up. I am trying to make this better, not worse.
I'm just gonna look up the porthole to make sure nobody's coming.
Okay. I slowly go over to Samuel. I make eyes with Vega and then as I bend down to start with like fine tinkering tools to cut his pant leg open to check out the wound, I will use a pistol and a second pistol to kill Samuel. That is Wreck.
All right. All right, the effect is clearly great.
Oh my god!
I have to deliberate position here. Let me think.
Great. Are you sure it's not like extreme? We've never gotten an extreme effect. I'm just really hoping for one.
Let me think here. I want to choose this carefully. Well, actually, I think it's kind of obvious that Ankiet isn't standing by, but she dropped her sword. So instead of desperate, I would make it risky.
Okay, I'm gonna say during that moment too, I just tell her like in the corner.
Well, I made eyes at Vega, so hopefully he got the hint. So
Yeah, if someone wants to burn 2 stress to give him an extra.
well, so I will burn 2 stress in order to give myself the extra die for this risky great.
Okay.
And I guess while that's happening, the moment I see/hear him pull the trigger, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger.
All right.
So Rec, I have a 2, a 5, and a 5.
All right. So you go ahead and describe this for me as it happens.
So I go down and I slowly, like with the scalpel scissors, I cut up his the pant leg and then fold it back, and then I look into his eyes as he's crying, and I go, "I am truly sorry."
And his head just falls back, blood pouring out of it. And Ankiet, at the very same time as she hears that gunshot, she ducks down immediately under both of your aim and reaches up to Vega, wraps her. Listen, I gotta.
No, go.
She wraps her arm around his neck and she pulls a small knife from her belt and puts it up to his throat. Unless you roll to resist it.
I would like to resist that consequence.
All right, go ahead.
I will burn 2 stress, right?
Yes. Or no. For resisting, you got to roll for it, boy.
Oh, you're
That'll-
right. I forgot. Sorry. So that
Yeah,
will be
that'll
a
be-
prowess, right?
Resist consequences. Actually, I believe it would be insight for a sort of see this coming sort of thing.
Oh, I see.
Because she's not
Okay.
harming you. You're not resisting the harm yet. You're resisting her getting around you in the first place.
Oh, could he use the one he tried to use earlier? What was it?
I think
Shadow?
that's just security measures, and
Yeah, that's for like sneaky type stuff, like getting detected.
Yeah.
My brain got detection and like, just yeah, just.
oof.
Oof.
All right, so she comes up behind you with the knife, and how would you go ahead, describe how you avoid this?
So I
Get
got
out of this.
3 stress. I mean, I'm obviously pointing straight at her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the moment I
Yeah, but
see
you know,
her,
we still got to roll for things.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a
yeah,
risky
yeah, yeah.
position.
So she goes to duck as soon as I pull the trigger, and I think as soon as I see her duck and move toward me, I'm just gonna knee her right in the fucking forehead.
Beautiful. Yeah, as soon as she takes the lean down to get under the gun, your knee is coming up. All right, you smash her in the face, and
When I see that, I just both guns. Doop.
All right, so you smash her in the face, and she goes flying backwards onto the ground, just looking up at the ceiling.
And then
And she,
can I?
and she, oh, go ahead.
I just want to go ahead and end this.
Before
As
you do
she's-
that, go
Uh-huh.
ahead. Do what you're gonna do, Edwin. Before.
Oh,
you
she's just lying. She's not doing anything. She's lying on the floor, and she's just staring at the ceiling. And she says, I just wanted to do something good.
I would rather, if possible, just take her as a prisoner and figure out what the fuck she was trying to do up here. No.
Nope.
Okay, shoot her.
I'll just walk over. and say, "This could have been avoided." And I'll just slowly shove a knife into her chest.
And as you're doing so, she grits her teeth as you're doing it, just grabbing you on the shoulders and the arm. And she says, "I'll see you in hell."
Yes, you will.
And she just lies back and gives that final attempt at breathing, just choking, blood coming from her mouth. No oxygen.
I close her eyelids. I say, "I'm sorry. You were a casualty." I close Samuel's eyelids, and then I talk into the horn to tell the grinders that everything's good.
As we do that, I just go over to the captain. I throw him off the controls. I do wonder why she was here. And then I just kind of move on with life.
All right, so you do so. And you can see from the bridge the other hulls that were patrolling the ship that you did not take care of. They are running towards the bridge tower.
I want to try to attune to them, to try to control them.
Heavy.
Yeah. Can I use I know you guys make fun of me for not knowing how arcane implements work, but would they help here? I don't genuinely
when
don't
you're
know.
trying to attune, that's about when they work best.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm sorry, I really don't know, and I don't want to do it wrong.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything right.
I'll say that using your arcane implements, because normally it would be. Hold on. Trying to think. Because they are able to attune as well. I'll just keep it simple. I'll say because your arcane implements, it'll be controlled standard.
Controlled standard, heard. And I'll take 2 to keep it at standard. And anyone have extra die for me before I do this thing that I don't have anything in?
Oh, are you trying to attune? Well, I took a look at him, and then here we go.
I like it. Is it 1 or 2 stress for me to give myself an extra die?
That would be 2.
Okay, then I cannot do.
Yeah, and plus when you push, you can only push for one or the other, I believe.
Okay, cool. So 1, and then
Someone else could still burn the stress for.
I did.
yeah.
Okay.
Victor gave me 1.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I got a 4. It could have been a lot worse, and that's what I'm going to say there.
All right, so the hulls stop in place. It takes a lot. It's like 11 Stranger Things, like you reaching out through this plating, through their plating. They do have protections against this, but we have limited time left, so I'm going along with it. You reach out very, very, very much Jedi Force type of thing, and you can feel them. Your mind kind of, all of us consciously try not to see the ghost field around us. You go ahead and deliberately seize it, and it almost drives you mad. Good thing you're already mad. And you reach out and you see the strings pulling them, and you just give it a little pinch with your mind, and they both stop moving like mid-sprint. And then you feel a rumble underneath your feet as the engines begin roaring to life. You start going about whatever in the control room you would have to do, pulling levers, pushing buttons, all that fun stuff. You can see off on the distance, on the docks, just a couple people have started pointing and like shouting, but the ship's already in motion by the time that happens. You look down at Samuel and Lady Ankyat. Both their eyes have popped back open because that closed eyelid thing doesn't really work. In real life, our eyes just... yeah. Yeah, for funerals and stuff, they have to use... Anyway, okay. And anyway, the ship begins moving off towards the gate, which you guys wouldn't know, but they had actually been working in tandem with the Lost, which if we had more time would have gone into, but the Lost were also aiding in this operation. because they knew you owed them a favor as well. So
Well,
the
wasn't
ship.
the other us helping them? So like as we're going to the gate, we see
Oh yeah. You're right. So that would have been taken care of regardless. But nonetheless,
You see
The
the
ship-
other S's.
no, there's more factors. But whatever. This episode's coming to a close. We don't think about that stuff. We complain at the writers for it, right? So your ship takes off towards the gate entrance and starts sailing into the void sea. Somehow the gate has been prepared for you. It's open. And just like this giant Leviathan hunter ship sails into the fog beyond Duskfall. And I guess that's where we'll end. I mean, that's as fitting a conclusion as any. That was depressing and dark.
I like
You're such horrible people. You're so great at this game.
You're welcome. That was our
Oh, that
mission.
was-
We understood the
that was
assignment.
so heavy.
100 I was 100% willing to try and work that out, try and talk out of that situation. Barnum was like, nah, he's getting shot.
He decided he wanted to die.
Loud,
Not
violent people. All right. So, shit, that was heavy. I was so depressed. Thanks for bearing with me. I know this session was stressful and not a great time the whole time, but thank you so much for joining.
Good.
Thanks
It was
everyone who joined us. Join us next week for more really messed up adventures. Sorry, I'm really hit hard by this.
Yeah.
More messed up adventures in John Harper's Blades in the Dark. And I hope everyone
Thanks, John Harper.
everyone has a great week.
John Harper.
You're responsible for this. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe out there.